Previously on Kim and Ket Stay Alive, maybe.
I would fuck John Ritter at any point in his career. Just need to be on the record.
Okay. Thank you for letting us know.
Any point. Even his paunchy point. I'd do it.
Thank you for letting us know.
You're welcome. Continue.
I will make a note. Let me... Beep, boop, bah. Got that. Okay,
and
great.
Continue.
It's on the books.
And now, the thrilling conclusion.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Oh, come on, you know I don't watch that shit.
Why not? Too scared?
No, it's just what's the point? They're all the same. Some stupid killer stalking some big-breasted girl who can't act, who's always running up the stairs when she should be going out the front door. It's insulting.
So, night number 2. Da, 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 da. We're in a cab. We're dropping off adult Bill in a cemetery.
Sure.
He goes to visit Georgie's grave.
Georgie.
And he's like...
All I can picture is that little boy that I used to babysit that you covered for me one time. Little Georgie. Oh, God. The McGrath.
Oh, my God.
I know. That's
all
I'm picturing.
I mean, it's the same.
It's the same.
He's Georgie's very cute.
Oh.
So he goes up to Georgie's grave and he's like, how could I have forgotten? I'm so sorry. And then he looks behind him and he sees 7 open, newly dug graves.
Oh, no.
And in the last one, it's Pennywise. He's digging in one. And he's like, take your pick, Billy boy.
You dick.
Except for the one on the end. That one's already taken. Sorry.
Fuck.
And Bill's like, I remember you and we beat you. I'm not afraid of you. And Pennywise just growls. And Bill's like, I'm not afraid of you. And he looks back and there's nothing there. It's just normal.
Okay.
So Bill goes to the library.
Shush, bish, shush.
Shush, bish, shush.
Yeah.
Bill goes to the library. A bunch of his, like, they have a whole section of like his books. Because they're like
cute.
hometown
Yeah.
guy, you
Oh, I
know.
love that.
So he's like a horror book writer, I believe. And I wonder if he's slightly like Stephen King based or something. Stephen King, did you ever have a mullet ponytail?
Stephen King?
I hope not.
You could get back to us?
I really hope not.
But
is that
honestly,
why you had the mullet ponytail?
Probably did.
Oof.
You know?
SK? You too?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
A2 SK? It's a theater reference, whatever. Okay.
So Bill and Mike have their hugs and hellos and they go for a walk kind of talking about it all. And
What you got?
And Bill's like, I'm sorry, I'm just laughing at myself. Bill's like, here's what I thought was written. I feel so think. But he's like, I feel so thick. I can't remember most of what we did.
Oh, thick. Okay. Like a thick fog in his mind. Got it.
And it's like he literally doesn't remember anything.
He blocked it out.
But Mike remembers, and they're like, why? Like, why does Mike remember? It's like, because he never left.
Oh, never left Derry.
Yeah.
Right.
So they go to Mike's house, and they kind of have like a reference to like it being poor town, and Mike's like, still is, and he has like not the greatest house. But they go have a beer and talking about the others, and they're like, you know, I can it's like I can feel them, but they're not all here yet. And Mike's like, oh, I want to show you something back out at the shed. And it's like an old bike from like back in their days, you know? And Bill would always be like, hi ho, Silver. And Mike was like, there was some kind of force guiding us that summer. And he's like, I don't know if it was like helping us or we created it, but maybe it's still here. And Mike then Bill goes and touches the bike and he remembers something. And he's like, it's just a flashback to Bill and Boy Scout Stan on the back of the bike, just riding as quickly as humanly possible, like away from something.
Right.
Cut to adult Richie, Seth Green. He's in a convertible singing. He sees the old movie theater that's now closed and he like yells out to it and he's like, oh man. And then he kind of gets around to the other side of it and stops. It says, R.I.P. Richie Tozier, 1950 to 1990.
Oh, shit.
Richie runs into the library freaking out, and he's like, "Where's Mike? I'm waiting. Where's Mike?" And he's like, "Okay, I'll just wait for him here. I'll wait for him here." And he sits down and he like opens up a newspaper, and a cup of water gets right into his face, and it's like just the librarian lady. She's just like, you seem like maybe you need a glass of water.
Glass of water in your face.
And he kind of like watches her walk away. She's like a cute young girl. And then we hear, "A little young for you, isn't she? Beep, beep, Richie."
Oh, stop beeping at me.
And Richie's just like, I didn't hear that. And then we look up, and on the second floor, like kind of balcony area of the library, is good old Pennywise.
No.
He's just reading a newspaper, and he says, looks down, he's like, "I got a balloon for you, or a bunch." And balloons just start falling from the ceiling everywhere, floating down.
Why is this guy such a meddlesome dick? Get out of my life.
I don't know, Kedron.
Why are you bothering me?
I don't know.
God.
You live in Derry. This is just what he does.
Get a life.
So the balloons are floating down, and then one pops, and blood spurts everywhere.
What a mess.
Pop, pop. Blood everywhere. All over people. Their faces everywhere.
Who notices?
And then one right in front of his face. Blood on his face. No one. Everyone's just reading their books, chilling. Fucking whatever. Looking on Facebook. Ain't no thing. So one pops like right in front of his face, and Pennywise is like, "Get out before it gets dark tonight. You're too old to stop me. You're all too old." And he starts making jokes the way that Richie does, basically. And Richie's just like, "Tell Mike I had to go," and like runs out. Oh, and
Richie.
Pennywise is just joking after him, like, "Hey, hope you didn't run to, or winged your arms tired. You flew here." Like just making jokes the way that Richie does.
You mean all
like,
the jokes
him.
that my husband makes on a daily basis? Got it.
I wrote here, Tim Curry is so good.
I love me some Tim Curry.
So cut to Bill, adult Bill fixing the bike. And they kind of start riding around. Like him and Mike are just like having a good time riding the bike now. Flashback of them as kids playing on the bike. And then as adults, Mike pulls out cards, and they're like bicycle cards, which I never realized. You know how like a deck of cards, they say bicycle on top?
Yes.
And they're like,
yes.
They're like bicycle cards. And then they pull out clothespins, and they're like, those always made the best noise. You know how that's like a thing that kids did?
Yeah, they would make it flippity
like
flip clip on their thingies.
I never knew that those bicycle cards.
But why would you?
Right?
What is?
I know. I never.
We got to postmortem this whole shindig.
I don't know. Regardless, he's pulling them out, and they're like, "Oh man, remember those?" And then this is adult time. And they accidentally drop the whole deck, and they spread across, and the whole back of them is just clowns. And Bill starts to stutter, and we just hear,
"Get out of here."
Cut to adult Ben in a taxi. And he's just talking business on a Zach Morris phone in the back of a taxi. Sure. Hey, business talking. They're going over the bridge, and he's like, "Hey, can you actually pull over?" And he gets out, and he goes down into the barrens to the old creek.
The cop said to never go by yourself.
And he actually stops and like sees kids running through the woods, and it's like flashback to Greaser chasing him, but back to now, bullies chasing another kid.
God.
And they knock the kid down, and his knee is hurt, and like the bullies run away, and like Ben goes and like cleans him up a little bit. And then we hear, Ben Hanscom.
Yep.
And then it's kind of flashback to Kid Ben running through the water. And there's a skeleton there.
Okay.
Where he had seen like his dad before, basically.
Yeah.
And then adult Ben is like, "You're in my mind." And then he feels a hand on the shoulder. And it's just a homeless guy like asking for change. And Ben's like, "I need to get back to my cab."
Yeah.
And so now they're driving to the Derry Inn.
Yep. Got it.
Derry.
Dairy. Are you struggling with that word?
I'm just saying it how the people prefer it, even though my Philly accent would say dairy.
You're saying the same thing.
Dairy?
Dairy.
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 Dairy and dairy. They're
Bury.
two different words.
Berry.
You know I can't say that word.
Okay.
So they start driving, and on the side of the road is Pennywise.
What?
And he's just standing there, and he's just, on the sidewalk. He's holding his balloons, and he's just waving at Ben as the taxi goes by.
Honestly,
Just a big old wave. You've probably seen this meme.
yes, I just don't understand why he won't just get a fucking life.
So as we drive past him, Ben follows, looking the whole way. So he's like turning his head to the back, and then he turns back around. There's a balloon next to his face.
No.
And written on it is, "Turn back now."
No. I don't even like balloons anymore.
I know. It's ruining balloons for you?
Yes.
I'm so sorry. So now we're in a cab. Adult Eddie is getting out, and he's going into the pharmacy of Derry. And he looks up, up at this current pharmacy and has a flashback to him as a kid getting his prescription, like his inhaler and stuff. And the pharmacist is like, "How old are you now?" And he's like, 11, going on 12, something. And he's like, "I don't know, I'm like 10 to 35. And the pharmacist is like, I think that's old enough. Will you come in the back with me?"
Don't go in the back. Don't go in the back with the pharmacist. A pharmacist doesn't need you. At no point does a pharmacist need you. At the age of any age. If you're not a pharmacist doesn't need you. Survival guide, tip, number, get me out of here.
Are you done?
I'm done.
I'll go on.
A pharmacist doesn't need you.
He sits him down in the back, and little Eddie's like very like stressed. And the pharmacist is like, "Calm down. Like, that's half your problem. You're so tight all the time." And he basically says, "Do you know what's in here?"
What?
"It's water and something else." He's like, "Do you know what a placebo is?"
Yes.
And he says, "Your mother is determined that you're ill." He's like, "You have a weak doctor and a determined
Munchausen
mother."
by proxy. Shit.
And little Eddie is like, I do have asthma. I do have asthma. And he runs out.
Oh, fuck. Munchausen by proxy is fucked up.
So I think the pharmacist was kind of being a good person in that one. I'm just saying.
No, you're right.
Adult-
That's the exception to the rule.
But what about It's a Wonderful Life? Wait, is he good or bad in that? He turns good. He's bad. He's drunk. He got bad news. His son died.
Yeah.
Back to it.
Right.
Back to the other 3-hour movie.
Right.
Adult Eddie now is getting his prescription. And we hear an old man's voice from the back being like, "Hello?" I don't know what he says.
Hello?
We just-
I'm old. Excuse me. I'm old.
And the pharmacist now is like, "Granddad, calm down."
Granddad, you're old.
And Eddie's like, "Wait, is that old pharmacist? I need to go talk to him." He's like, "That's my guy." So old pharmacist,
Right.
OG pharmacist
Right.
is now old guy.
Okay.
And he's just not really all there. He's
Oh.
just kind of starey blank face a
Yeah.
little bit. And Eddie's like, "I just want to thank you for the truth a long time ago." And he's like, and the pharmacist is just like, "Hydrox, H2O, only water, all in your head." And Eddie's like, "You do remember." And then a monster hand grabs at him. And then it's like pharma / Pennywise voice like mixed together. And it's like, "Get out of Derry while you can. Still can. Beware, girly boy." And then Eddie runs away.
Sure.
Cut to Bev.
Hi, Bev.
Standing outside her old house.
Hashtag save Bev.
Hashtag save Bev. She rings the doorbell for Marsh, her last name. An old lady opens the door. And the lady's like, "No Marsh here." And Bev's like, "But my father." And she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry to tell you this, but he's been dead for 5 years. Mm-hmm. And then Bev kind of looks down at the name again next to the bell, and it says Kirsch.
Oh, she just misread it.
And the lady's like, why don't you come in, though, and have some tea? And so Bev looks around. She goes into the bathroom, and she really, like, kind of, like, washes her face.
To the trailer for part 2 of the new one.
Is it? Do you remember that part?
I do.
I know it. This felt very similar.
Oh, no. Okay.
So she's looking in the bathroom. She's kind of sprinkling some water on her face, but she does kind of look in the sink and down the drain and stuff. And then it's like tea time. And so she's out and she's chatting with the old lady. And the old lady's just like slurping down some tea. Like,
oh, God.
and she's got some yucky ass motherfucking teeth.
Ew.
And then Bev looks down into her teacup. It's blood.
Fuck.
She just drops it and it just shatters on the ground. And she looks up and she's like, it did say Marsh on the doorbell. And the old lady's like, if you're wise, you'll run, dear. Run, because they all float down there. And then the old lady looks up from her glass. She has a zombie face.
A zombie face. Fuck.
And then her dad's voice from the zombie face saying, don't worry, Bevy. And Bev runs out of the house. And
Kim, this is very scary. This is very scary.
Are you upset?
Yes. Continue.
She runs out of the house into the street. She turns around and it's Pennywise standing on the doorstep.
Get out
And
of
he's
here.
just like beep, beep, and laughs. And then a truck like almost hits her. It's like, and she like, she looks back and the house is actually all boarded up.
Ah!
And like old and disheveled. And we just hear like, and then suddenly a balloon is floating next to her.
Get these balloons out of here.
And it starts just bouncing down the street.
Fuck.
Ding.
I don't.
Back to Bill's wife.
Hello, Bill.
Ponytail
Wife.
Bill's wife.
Yes. They
And
lived in England.
Greco, the producer,
Right.
general, or whatever
Yeah.
the fuck he is. No one knows. He also has a ponytail.
Sure.
It's big in the movie biz in
It
the
is.
1990s.
Yep.
If you're going to be a big movie guy in the
You
90s,
gotta
you gotta
have
have
a
a ponytail.
ponytail.
He's all complaining that Bill left, blah, and maybe low-key hitting on her.
Mm-hmm.
She asks to leave for a few days. He says no. You know, it's like, we can do without your loser husband, but not you, blah. Makes some threats. Stupid. Now the wife is sleeping. And Thunder wakes her up. She picks up the phone. She calls an airline. She's like, I need a ticket to the USA.
Ticket to the USA. I don't think that's a song.
I'm sure she didn't say that either, but I wrote it that way, so that's how I read it.
Hi, I would like to buy a ticket to the
USA. Cut to a Chinese restaurant in the USA.
Yep.
Eddie walks in. Ben is already there drinking.
Yep.
Mike and Bill come in. Hellos and hugs. Richie starts to walk in and sees them, and he runs to the bathroom, and he like puts some water on his face, and he's like, all right, get a grip. Get a grip. Gives himself a little pep talk.
Richie.
And then he walks into them as if he's totally fine and is like joking away, and they're all like, beep, beep, Richie.
Ugh.
Bev comes in and stops, and she's like, what a bunch of handsome old men.
Oh, what a sweetie bear.
And then passes out.
I'm sorry?
She just passes out.
She's passing. Okay. All right.
I actually was like, what just happened?
Let's take
I
a little.
like rewound here because I was like, I'm sorry. What?
Let's take a little detour and give her some
Do you want me to
little smelling
impersonate
salts.
it for you?
Yes, I do.
Do you want to feel?
Yeah. Okay. Hold on.
She walks in and she's like, what a bunch of handsome old men. So now Bev is waking up. She's laying down. They have a little.
She just took a little nappy
hot
poo.
cold towel or something
Yeah.
on her face.
She just need a little nappy poo.
I don't know. Again, if this is a 90s thing, I'm not sure. But she like wakes up and Richie is above her, so she kisses him on the lips.
What?
And then hugs everyone, But it wasn't like a sexy kiss. It was just like, oh, like,
what is happening?
I don't know. But she hugs everyone. And then she's like, I saw all of you and so much came flooding back all at once. And then she has a nice close hug with Bill. Excuse me, with Ben.
Yep.
Benny.
Yep.
And then Top Bill really kisses her. Hello. I don't.
What is going on?
None of them seem fazed by any of it, but it's confusing to me.
Yeah. I'm going to need to see this whole scene.
Yeah, I'll just showcase you this scene.
Yeah, from pre-faint to smooching and beyond. I'm so confused.
So, anyway, but they're just
is that what you're
saying
supposed
their
to do
hellos.
after you pass out?
I guess you just kiss everyone you see.
Okay. I guess I've done it wrong.
Grateful to be alive, I guess.
Several times I passed out.
I love you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And they're like, are you all right, Bev? And she's like, well, I saw something today. And they're all like, yeah, I did too. And they're like, that means he's afraid. It's afraid.
Yep.
They're like, Mike, help us remember, fill in the gaps. They're kind of like, it kind of like clouds over a little bit. Like I feel all the time. As Kim Burns. And he's like, there's like a veil over my eyes. He's like, the water, the sewer. So they're kind of talking about, I don't know, things they remember. They start to, I think Eddie has a flashback of something and like starts to freak out a little bit. And they're like, I think of like the last thing that we had seen, the night that when they put the hole in him or whatever.
Oh, right.
I think they like Eddie flashes back to that and starts to freak out a little bit. And they're like, you saved Stan's life.
Oh.
And they're like, Stan, where is he?
Is Stan?
And so Top Bill wants to just like get into it. Like, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
Let's make a plan. And Richie's like, hey, let's catch up. We got a table here.
Richie,
we got
we don't have
drinks.
time.
Let's eat. Let's drink. Come on. It's the Losers Club. And then it's a montage of like good times. Like they're drinking, they're eating. It's nice. Like they haven't seen each other in forever.
All right. Fine. Richie, I guess you were right.
And then they kind of start talking about like if they're married or not, et cetera, et cetera. I think Top Bill's the only one that is. Maybe Richie's had like 5 wives or some shit.
Sure.
Like, things like that. And Bev's kind of like, oh, well, I live with him, but we're not married.
Get out of there, girl.
And somehow Colonel Greaser comes up. And Mike's like, well, you know where you'll find him? Juniper Hills. After he confessed to all the murders of all those kids back in the day.
Shut up.
He came out of that sewer babbling about a clown, et cetera, with white hair. And after he had white hair.
Yeah.
And no one believed any of those things except for the part where he said he murdered all the kids.
Oh, because he was like, he murdered him. Oh, fuck me.
Cut to Juniper Hills.
Hey.
Correctional facility, psychiatric ward.
Yeah.
There's a big moon out the window with a big Pennywise shadow face.
Oh, no.
And he's like, hey, Greaser. Hey, Greaser. He's like, you helped me out once and we almost got them. And now's another chance. We're going to finish the job. I want you to go back to Derry and kill them all.
Come on.
Kill them all.
No.
Now it's the end of dinner.
Do your own dirty work, Pennywise, you piece of shit.
You'll find out. Richie says he's leaving at 6 a.m. And they're kind of like, look, we're all scared. There's nothing to be ashamed of. You know, like, what are we going to do? Like, go back in the sewers? And they're kind of like, well, I don't know. We haven't talked about it yet. And Mike is basically like, look, everyone here made good on a promise. Like, you came back. You're here, but there's no expectations. You came back. So they're all just kind of like, okay, let's like, there's like a big plate of fortune cookies. Let's open our, cookies.
Fortunes. Cookies. Each
Fortune cookies.
Open our cookies to get our fortunes.
Yes.
Got it. Great.
So they open one and blood spurts out. And then a cockroach comes out.
I don't want to eat.
And then an eyeball. And then a claw. And then a chicken fetus question mark? Something. Baby. I don't know.
I'm still on the claw.
They're
What
all
kind of claw?
freaking out. It's just a little, It just started, the cookie started clawing outside of it.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. We're going to need a video of the cookie. And that's what's going to...
Just when you open the fortune cookie and then there's a little claw inside and it's
Sure.
like,
Thank you. Thank you for the visual.
and a baby chick, some type of little teeny animal-y thing. Like,
Oh, God.
They all start freaking out. And the employees of the restaurant come in. They're all like, what's
What's
wrong?
the
What's
matter?"
wrong? And fucking, like, Eddie's freaking out. So they're like, our friend had an asthma attack, but he's better now. And Bill's cookie just slowly has, like, a spider leg, like, poking out of it.
Oh, no.
And they're all just like, let's get out of here. Cut to phone ringing.
Uh-huh.
We're in the library. Mike is on the phone calling Stan.
Okay.
He's with
Oh,
Bill and Ben. Richie and Eddie and Bev are kind of all looking at the blood all over the freaking library
Oh,
still.
it's still fucking there.
They can see it.
Right.
And they're like, we'll clean it up. Flashback to Bev, to her cleaning up that bathroom with the blood all over it.
Yeah.
And she's like, you know, they had started kind of wiping stuff as adults. So they like flash back to that. And she's just sitting and she's kind of just wringing her hands with blood all over them, covered in blood. And Eddie's like,
out damn spot.
yes. And Eddie's like, why are we the only one who sees this? And they're like, Mike. And Mike's on the phone and he's like, Stan. And Richie is just kind of like, if he doesn't get here, he's a dead man. Jokey, joke, making some jokes. And everyone's laughing and they're all like going to the phone like, where is he? Stanny, where is he?
Oof. It's only funny if he's not really dead, which he is, so it's not.
And then Mike's face changes because he's listening.
Yeah.
And he says, thank you. And hangs up the phone. Stan is dead. He cut his wrists in the bathtub.
Fuck.
Everyone is sad.
Me too.
Really changes the air.
Yeah.
Cut to a really quick flashback of Bill remembering the 7 graves where one was already filled.
Oh, fuck, right.
And Bill says, Stan was the last one to see it. He kept saying, it's empirically impossible. It's just impossible. Even after seeing the clown down in the sewers,
He still said it
he
was
couldn't
impossible.
believe until that one day. Flashback to Bill on the bike, and he sees Stan just running towards him, so scared, like scarier than he's ever been before. And he picks him up and he just rides away. And Bill has a thing where he's always like, hi-ho, Silver, away. And he's like, Stan was so upset for hours, he couldn't even tell me the story until finally he says he was at the park by the bird feeder watching the birds. It was a good Boy Scout. And he hears, Stan, from like a house, a big house kind of like nearby. Stan. And Stan walks up and he was like, I figured there was a rational explanation. So he goes inside. The door slams behind him. Footsteps slowly come down the stairs. It's like a mummy with clown balls in its chest.
I knew exactly what you were talking about. Mummy with clown balls.
And
Got it.
He can't open the door. He starts just grabbing his ear, and he's like, all I could think to do was to hold out his bird book and just start naming every bird he could think of.
Oh.
One of them is a Baltimore Oriole. And he just holds it out and he's just like, bird, Baltimore Oriole. Da, da, da. And the mummy slowly starts backing away and he runs out of the house. Cut to adults again. And so Eddie is saying, in the sewer, Stan saw it face to face, not the clown, but what's behind the clown. And Stan told Eddie that he looked right into its dead lights. And the weirdest thing is I felt like I wanted to be there.
What?
Dead lights. And then Bill is like, I remember that light over us. And it kind of has a quick flash to that time where they all got knocked over that light and wind was on top of them. And they're like, I need a drink.
Yeah, me too.
So Mike opens the fridge. Balloons come out.
God damn it.
I know. It's like we can't get away. We're just,
When you want a beer and you get a balloon, it's a bummer.
I just need a drink. I just need a fucking drink right now, man. I don't want a balloon.
I don't want a balloon.
I want a drink.
I want a beer.
Hashtag beers, not balloons.
Beers, not balloons. Or bourbon's not balloons.
Well,
or Bellini's not balloons.
yep.
Or
Well, guess what else?
what?
The balloon's cleared out, and then Stan's head is in the fridge.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't specify. I also don't want that.
Nope. He's in there.
I also don't
He's in
want
the
that.
fridge. Hey, guys.
Hennessy, not
And he's
heads.
talking. He's talking.
No, don't
Hey, guys, who's all here? Oh, look, it's Bill. And, oh, look at that nose job, Richie. Anyone could see that. Da, da, da,
talk.
da.
What an asshole.
Bev, great choice in men. Wheezy. Da, 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 da.
So he's
And
fucking roasting
then
the room?
Same old Mike. It's, and then it kind of again starts to switch into two voices. And he's like, it's true what they say. We all float down here and you will too. They all float. Mike slams the fridge shut. Thunder. The door slams shut. Windows shatter. All the books start flying out of the fucking thing. Everywhere. Books. A typewriter starts typing. It starts pouring rain on them inside the library. Question number 2. What do they do and what do you do?
Okay. All right.
I'll give you a hint. It's something they've done before.
Okay. Can I say what I'm going to do first? Because I'm new to this mythology. Okay. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to have everyone circle up and stand in a circle holding hands so that sort of like our communal energy is as powerful as it can possibly be.
Okay.
And I'm going to have everyone start laughing hysterically to sort of like disarm the mythological power of this, where it's like, we're not only are we not scared of you, we think you're hilarious and pathetic, and just start laughing hysterically and see how that goes.
Okay.
What do they do? It's something they've done before. They did it down in the sewer. What did they do? They had the rocks, and is he physicalized, or is it just, it's just like all the stuff
shit's
happening?
going crazy.
I'm trying to remember what they did down in the sewer with the light, because I just remember Bev with the rocks. Can you give me a clue? Because that was 4 hours ago. Fuck. Do they start? I don't know. They start throwing books at the light. I can't remember what they did. Okay.
A point for you.
Thank you.
They kind of do the same. They get into a circle.
Okay.
I feel like that was a clue that you give me where it actually makes it harder. I didn't do that on purpose.
Yeah.
But like,
Well, it's
I
because
thought I was giving you a clue.
All I could fucking remember was Bev with the rocks. And then I was like, but if he's not there, they can't throw. So yeah.
But basically,
They did what I did.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which
okay.
because I gave you that clue, it fucked you up, which is what happens to me all of the time.
Yeah.
When you give me clues, I'm always just like, you've made it more challenging now. You actually made it worse. So they get together in a circle and hold hands.
Okay.
The rain stops. The lights come back on. And they're all completely dry. And Richie's like, can we go somewhere else, please? But Bill goes over to the typewriter where that had like been all typed up, and he pulls out the page and he starts stuttering. And Ben takes it from him and he reads it. He thrusts his fist against the post and still insists he sees the ghost.
Ooh, that's a good tongue twister for our vocal warm-ups. Sorry.
Yeah, because Bill says, my mom gave that to me to help me with my stutter.
Oh, God.
And Richie's like, well, it ain't helping, buddy.
Oh, Richie, come on.
And they all run out.
Oh, His poor little stutter.
But I think like it's like all with love.
I get it. I'm just saying stutters in general make me sad.
Yeah.
Stutters, animals, old people. Can't do it.
Cut to full moon.
Okay.
Greaser, old man. General Greaser.
General Greaser in the asylum with the white hair.
His name's Henry, and we start to hear someone going, Henry. It's Greaser number 2. Kid Greaser number 2.
Yes.
Dead kid under his bed.
Oh, they got folded in half?
Yeah.
Fuck.
And he's like, I want to pay them back. You got to get out of here and go back to Derry. And it slowly transitions into Pennywise voice. I can take care of them if they half believe, but you're alive. You can do it. You can do it one by one. And he hands him the switchblade.
Oh, no.
And together, they walk down the hall with the Greaser behind him. Greaser 2 behind him.
Yeah.
Old man walks down the hall, and there's like a guard kind of station. The guard comes out, and he's like, motherfucker, what are you doing? All of a sudden, clown Pennywise steps from behind Greaser and then turns into a dog and attacks the guard.
Ah! Don't bring dogs into this. Rude.
Back to the Darien. They're all gathering there, carrying in boxes that are like have helmets and shit in it. And Richie's just like, no, not for me. I don't want to do this.
Goodbye.
Anymore. Eddie starts asthmaing and and he starts taking his inhale and he's like, look, I know it's just camphor water, but I need it.
Oh.
And Bev's like, if you believe in it, it works.
Oh.
Mike starts handing out old newspapers talking about the kids that were dying 30 years ago. Mm-hmm. And he's like, Colonel Henry Greaser confessed and the killing stopped until this year. Shit. Exactly 30 years later.
Shit.
But if you look in Derry history, continued back in 30-year increments, every date has some type of huge disaster.
What?
Whether it's like the explosions, the things, et cetera, et cetera. And it kind of like flashes back to him in class.
Yeah.
And Bev's like, the teacher, she didn't want to hear it. Like when you were telling it, the teacher didn't want to hear it. And they're kind of like, yeah, it's like the dairy disease. It's like, it's too horrible. They just don't want to know.
Fuck. You always gotta know.
It's better to know.
You gotta know. Don't put blankets on things.
I know. It's like eventually
Pennywise
you gotta
comes
take
to
the
kill
blanket
you.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, technically he doesn't kill the people without the blanket. We're with the blankets.
You know what? Let's get rid of the blankets. Let's just really look into all of this. It's all I'm saying. Let's not ignore it.
Well, Bev then remembers, she's like, yeah, I had that old man neighbor and I came home from school once and the Greasers were fucking with me. And that old man like actually like looked over and saw it. And she's like, I thought he was going to say something, but then he like turned and went inside.
What the fuck?
And she's just like, there's something terribly wrong in Derry. And they're like, what did you do? You know, like, how'd you get away? And she's like, well, actually my daddy came home. It was like the first time ever that I was happy to see him.
Oh.
So Mike's like, now it's 30 years later. There's 6 kids so far, maybe more. And he was like, I wasn't sure, but when I saw Georgie's picture, I was certain. And he like shows it to everyone.
Yeah.
And they're like, there's something special about us together. It made us strong. And they're like, he's kind of like, do you think it's an accident that none of us have kids? And he's like, you all left and became unusually successful. Like, very successful.
Right. Yeah.
And Mike stayed.
And didn't. Okay.
And then so they kind of all give him a bunch of thank yous for that.
Yeah.
They're like, thanks for doing that, guy. Cut to a motel with no vacancy. There's a car driving up to the gas station outside. And it's nighttime. It's Bill's wife.
Oh.
And she asks the pump guy, how far is Derry? And he's like, oh, it's about 500 yards that way. Just go across the bridge at the Barrens and hang left. And she's like, the Barrens? And then it's a Pennywise voice going, yes, where the kids used to play. And the wife is like, okay, I'll be going now. And the guy's like, don't you want your balloon first? And then it's Pennywise face. Don't you want it? Don't you want it? And then his eyes, like deep inside, start glowing, and a light starts coming back as she kind of just gets stuck staring into them.
I don't want
as
it.
if they're like capturing her. Cut to bed. Talking about some bullies like attacking him in high school, and basically like the coach saw and started joking. I don't know. Basically, he was saying he joined the track team, and that's like how he lost all the weight. Mm-hmm. And now that I'm reading this now, I'm like, why was this here? I guess they just wanted to be like, yeah, he lost weight at some point.
Yeah, I guess.
I guess we needed to say
But
why.
I'm like, people lose weight all the time.
I mean, he basically stood up for himself too. It was like he learned to stand up for himself, and he also joined the track team and told the coach to fuck off and proved everyone wrong. But then Mike is like, all right, well, we need to talk about what we're going to do.
Yeah.
So Richie's like, well, I'm out of here when the sun comes up. And Bev just goes, I cleaned it up once. The blood?
Yeah.
All of it. Before, though. I had cleaned up all of it before.
Right.
And it's a flashback where it's her scrubbing the entire fucking thing, and it's completely clean now.
Yeah.
And she walks out of the bathroom and she stops and looks back. It's covered in blood again.
Oh, fuck. That is, God damn it. That's what it's like every single fucking time I clean the bathroom.
So you feel her.
Yeah, and
you
I'm like,
feel
why
Bev's
do I even
pain.
clean it? Just leave the blood.
So then she brings the boys into her house to see if they could see it in the flashback. And they walk into the bathroom and they're just like, what the fuck happened in here? Like, what? You know? And she's like, you see it? You see it?
Yeah.
And then they all start immediately cleaning and helping her up.
Sweethearts.
And she's like, I thought I was going crazy, but she's like, I fell in love with you all that day. And she's like, when we cleaned it up together, the blood never came back. Throughout all of this, they're kind of sitting around the hearth area of the Darien. Hearth.
Like
See,
heart.
I don't even know the word.
Like heart, but with a th on the end. Hearth.
Hearth.
Yeah. Because it's the heart of the home.
They're sitting by a fireplace in the Darien. All talking. Throughout this whole thing, Ben has just been like standing behind her, massaging her.
Okay.
Just, you know, just 90s stuff.
Sure. 90s massages, you know.
They're all very touchy-feely, especially with Bev, but it doesn't feel yucky.
Right.
To be honest.
Yeah.
Like they just like really love each other, it seems.
I got that because I feel like your face would have, and the way you told it to me would have made me feel yucky, but I haven't felt yucky.
Yeah, no, but it is like he just happens to be like massaging her while she's telling the story. But she's like, I'm cold. And Richie's like, me too. And Bev's like, well, I have a shawl like up in my room. And Ben's like, I'll grab it for you. So he gets the key for Bev's room and Richie's going to go up and get his. And as they say they're going to go up, it's like a quick flashback that Bill has where it's like him underground where he's like, stay together, guys. No stragglers, which was like them like in the sewers.
Yeah.
Back to the adults. He's like, don't go alone. So Eddie and Mike go with Ben upstairs. When they get upstairs, they split up. They're like, meet back in 3 minutes. Keep your doors open. Watch each other as we go in. So Eddie's going to like get his inhaler or something. Ben is going into Bev's room to get her shawl, and Mike is going to get like a jacket for Richie in Richie's room. So Ben goes in, he grabs Bev's shawl and kind of like sees her perfume and like smells it. Mike goes in, he grabs Richie's sweater and the window's open. So he goes to close it. Old man Greaser comes out of the bathroom and attacks Ben.
Shit.
Attacks Mike.
Yeah.
And stabs him with a switchblade.
No.
Now, back to Ben in Bev's room. He starts to leave. Bev is in the doorway.
Oh.
And she's like, oh, you found it. And she closes the door.
Is she getting a little whispery?
And she's like, I'm glad we're alone.
Ooh, girl.
And she starts the poem, January Embers.
Oh, January Embers.
And she's like, it was you. I knew it was you. And then they start kissing. And then I have a question about 90s TV kissing.
Yes, what can I help you with?
Here's what they do. This has happened. At first, I thought it was just like a douchebag guy. But this was a passionate kiss. They really just push their faces together and then move their heads.
Yes. Okay.
They just smush lips and move their heads
and
a lot.
I do know that was a thing, because I have a mortifying moment from younger than the age of 5, because it was in the house before the house that you know of, which I moved into when I was 5. I didn't understand. I was young enough to not understand what romantic kissing was. I just knew what kissing was.
Yeah.
And my parents would kiss me, on the mouth. And I remember saying to my mom, let's do a movie kiss, and wanting to move my head like this when I like held my mouth on my mom's mouth.
Yeah.
And for the first time feeling embarrassed and ashamed, because my mom said, that's not something that mommies and daughters do. And I was like, I didn't understand. I just was seeing. So I happened to know that type of kissing was exactly the trend of kissing.
So weird.
They literally just pushed their mouths together and just moved their heads back and forth.
Like it was a passionate, loving kiss. Yes. But they were just like smush mouth head moves.
Yes, that's exactly what it was. Oh God, that was that's my first remembered embarrassment. It was terrible.
First memory of shame.
Oh God, I just didn't understand. But my poor mother just being like, you can't do this. No. It was oh God, I'm feeling so much shame.
It's okay.
Okay.
I forgive you.
Thank you.
Your mom
forgives you.
We all forgive you.
Thank you.
So Ben kind of nuzzles into her neck a little bit, and there's a mirror behind her, and he looks into the mirror, and her hand on his shoulder has a white glove on it.
I don't like white
gloves.
And
then Ben lifts his head, and in the mirror he has white makeup
on
the side of his face and kind of red lips.
Oh no.
And then he looks down, and there's big yellow pants, and he turns, it's Pennywise.
No.
Kiss me, fat boy.
No, I don't want to kiss.
Ben runs to the door. He looks back. There's nothing there. Back to Mike. Colonel Greaser, old man Greaser, on top of him, holding the switchblade as Mike kind of like is struggling to hold it back. Now Eddie and Ben start to hear noises, and they run into Mike's room. They grab the Greaser, and it's a tussle, and the Greaser ends up getting stabbed in the chest.
Yeah, yay.
On the floor, dead.
Great.
Mike is hurt. He's like barely breathing. They carry him to the car, and like the whole gang is now like driving to the hospital together. They're in the waiting area at the hospital. B and B are outside. All their names begin with B.
Sure.
But
I'm with you.
It's Bev and Ben.
Okay.
I remember.
Oh, because I was like Bill and Ben. No, Bev and Ben. Bev and Bill. Bill and Bev or Ben. Okay.
Bev was like, if Mike dies, there's 5 of us left. Like, why? And then she's, why? I wrote, she starts crying, and Ben hugs her. And Bev's like, can I tell you a secret? And she's like, you know what my father was like? Well, I fell in love with a man. That is everything I hated about him. Yeah. And she's like, why was I so blind? And Ben's like, well, you know, you see it now. You're not blind anymore.
It's not just you, sweetie.
Like,
it's
at least
pattern of abuse.
Yeah. And he's like, at least you felt something.
Yeah. Oh.
Because he's like, I don't fucking fall in love with anybody.
Oh, poor sweethearts.
And she's like, Ben, you have the heart of a poet. Realization face.
Huh?
And she says, your hair is winter fire.
It was you.
And Ben starts to freak out. He's like, why did you say that? And she's like, you wrote it, right? Like, when we were young, I thought that Bill wrote it, but you did it. Yeah. And he's like, is it you or the clown? And she's like, it's me. And she kisses him. And she's like, my heart burns there too. And then it's a big kiss. And
90s kiss? Or?
90s kiss. I don't know. Yeah. And then Eddie comes out, and he's like,
oh, Eddie.
And they all run into
fucking
the doctor. And so Mike's going to be okay, but he's not out of the woods yet.
Sure.
And the doctor's like, I mean, I guess one of you guys could go in there. So Bill goes in.
Okay.
Mike gets an update. So the Greaser is dead. And he's like, did you call the cops? And he's like, not yet. So Mike says, be careful. We can't trust anyone. And he's like, go in my jacket, the outside pocket. What does Mike give to Bill?
Okay. Mike is the guy who still lives in the town.
Yep.
Bill is Jonathan Brandis.
Yep.
Ponytail.
Yep.
Mike gives Top Bill something to give to who?
He just says, go into the pocket of my jacket.
Oh, it's the picture of Georgie.
Incorrect.
Fuck. What is
it? It is the silver earrings.
Oh, nice.
But Top Bill's like, we left these down in the sewer. He went back?
Yeah.
And Mike was like, yeah, it was 10 years ago. He's like, I was having a shitty life. He was like, honestly, I was kind of like basically suicidal.
Yeah,
he's like, I figured I could find them.
Yeah.
And then, you know, he's like, I came out and I got my life together. And he's like, but that's also where this came from. And he points to like his gray hair. And he's like, it kind of almost came overnight from fear.
Uh-oh.
But he's like, Bill, if you leave, I'll understand.
Yeah.
So cut to them back at, so Mike stays in the hospital. The rest of them all go back to the Dairy Inn where the old man, Colonel Greaser, is. Mm-hmm. Dead body. They're covering with a blanket and fighting over if they should call the cops or not.
Oh, because, okay. All right.
And Bill is basically like, look, the whole town is it in some way.
Ooh.
All of them.
Yeah.
So Eddie basically wants to leave with Richie. Ben is kind of like, look, let's just leave the room and then figure out what we're going to do.
Yeah.
So they kind of like turn the TV on, cover him with a blanket, put the do not disturb on.
Yeah. Let's get away from the Horcrux.
Figure that out later.
Yeah.
Basically. So they all start walking out of the room and Richie's the last one to leave. And as they do, he hears kind of the TV on. Mm-hmm. And it's the new death of a 5-year-old girl on the TV. And they all kind of start leaving the inn with their bags. Bill is last in line and he stops because he hears piano music playing. And he wanders into another room of the inn. And there's a woman kind of sitting on a bench playing the piano with their backs to us with like a little boy next to her. And just playing like a really beautiful song. And he walks outside to all the others. They're kind of getting in cars and stuff, packing up to, they're all going to the airport basically. Right. And Bill stops them and he's like, I just saw something and I have no idea if it was real or not.
Fuck.
And he's like, I can't go on like this or I will go insane.
Yeah, me too. I'm insane currently.
I don't want to be scared anymore.
Yeah.
I'm going back in. I'm going to kill it. Flashback to Top Bill being like, help me. Help me. Back to the adults. Bev goes and hugs Bill. Then Ben hugs him. Then Eddie hugs him.
What sweethearts.
And then slowly Richie comes up and hugs too. So they kind of end the same way in the big group hug. Now they're all in Richie's car, driving to the Barrens. His car is my old baby blue car.
Oh, the one that the old drunk lady hit?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's a little, well, his is red, but it's a little, I had a little baby blue Camaro. And it was 90s style. So anyway, they start like unpacking on the bridge pretty much. Bev has the slingshot still. Mm-hmm. Bill has the 2 earrings. And he's like, one for Mike, one for Stan. Lucky 7. Now we're all here now.
Oh, God.
And they put their hands in together. And Richie's like, what the hell? Like, what is this? He's like, it smells like death. He's like, losers fight it and losers die. And Bill's like, you don't have to go. And Richie's like, right. Like, I didn't have to get on a plane. I didn't have to come here. I didn't have to get in the car, et cetera, et cetera. So they're all going in. They see the pipe hole and they go inside the building. They see the pipe hole. They go down. And then they remember seeing the little clown. And then pom-poms. I've been trying to think about that. I call them fluff balls the entire time.
But I knew exactly what you were talking about.
Yeah. And they're like, remember when I saw the pom-pom? They stop at that same spot. There's a purse down there. But it looks new. Like, not like it's been there forever. And Bill's like, oh my God. It's his wife's. And he's like, how in God's name? What? She's down here. It's got her. And he just starts running through the sewers by himself. And he's like, Audra. So Bill slips and trips over something, and he just like huddles against the wall, and the gang runs up to him, and he's just stuttering, and he's like, "It's my fault. It's my fault." And Bev is like, "There's only one way to help her, and it's to stop it, and we need you." And so Bill gets up, and he's like, "All right, stay together." So they start walking through, and they have like a map with them now of like the underground, and Ben's like, "It looks like we're off the map." And they get actually to what looks like that center area again, but there's like trees or roots or something kind of like hanging down from everywhere. But they're like, this is the spot though. Like that wall is cracked from like when Stan was there, and like it's weird, like their roots are all like growing down. And Bill says, "Something's coming." And he looks kind of down through one of the pipes. And in the water, a little newspaper boat starts floating towards them.
Get that newspaper boat the fuck out of here.
It floats right up, and it stops right at Bill's feet.
No, leave Georgie out of this.
And he looks up, and there's little Georgie.
No.
"My boat. It's all your fault, Bill. You sent me out, and it killed me. It's all your fault, Bill." And Top Bill's like, "No." And Bev's like, "That's not Georgie. That's not Georgie. Fight it." And Bill's like, no, I loved you, Georgie." And they're all like, "That's not your brother. That's not your brother. Fight it."
Can you fucking imagine? Can you even fucking imagine? I cannot.
It's horrible.
I would just turn to dust.
Well, let's find out what you would do. Oh, fuck. Because question number 4, what does Bill do and what do you do?
I need to compose myself. All right. We're in the sewer.
There's no time, Ketrin.
We're in the sewer, and it has my wife. And the blockade that he has put in front of me is the apparition of my dead baby brother. Correct?
Yeah. And right now he's been like, "No, I loved you, Georgie. I loved you."
I am going to, me, Ketrin. I'm going to go up and hug Georgie. Like I'm going to go all Marianne Williamson here, and I'm just going to like lead with love. I'm just going to go up and I'm going to hug him and just keep saying, "I love you, Georgie. I love you, Georgie," until the power of it dissipates. And then by your eyes, I can tell that probably means I'm dead. What does he do?
Stop reading my eyes. I'm going to start closing my eyes
while you
tell your answers.
What is he going to do? His goal is to get past Georgie, correct? Basically? Like to keep looking for his wife. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So it doesn't have power if they're like together. Like he's kind of like a reverse Tinkerbell. I just feel like the only weapons that I like know I have. Okay. Is he going to like throw the fucking silver balls at him? I'm going to go with that. Throw some silver balls at him. Yeah. I'm feeling really out of my element here. I'm feeling really confused because I feel like I don't understand the mythology of like when he's corporeal and when my friendship love will be enough to defeat him. Do you see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But you're incorrect.
Okay.
So
it's fine.
And I mean, maybe this answer will help, but you should maybe know by now.
Fuck off.
I mean, you can. Bill says, "You're not George. George is dead. It's not my fault."
Oh, okay. So
and little Georgie
just
disappears.
Like not being afraid. Yeah. Okay. So I think I need to stop overthinking it.
Yeah.
I think I'm overthinking it.
You probably
I think I'm
are.
trying to like create something that they do when it's really just about dismantling the belief system of him. Okay. I'm overthinking. Let's go. Moving on.
I don't know if I should tell you more now or not, but
no, don't. No.
Matter.
Yeah.
But so, and it cuts to a quick flashback of young Top Bill being like, "You killed my brother George, you bastard."
Yep.
So back to the adults. Bill is like, "You killed my brother. Show yourself. You're going to pay." And we just hear like, "Wow." And Pennywise voice being like, "Go while you still can. This is your last chance." And Bill's like, "Show yourself." And then it's like a floating vision of Pennywise. And he's like, "Silly boy, think you see me? See only what your little mind will allow. That's what you see." And he's like, "Go, stay, and you'll lose your little mind in my deadlights."
What the fuck does deadlights mean? I know that they said that before, but I don't like that I don't know what it means, and it's a weird context, and I hate it, and I want to leave.
And then he disappears, and the laughing continues. And Richie's like, "We can't fight that thing. It's like fighting smoke." And Bill says,
Yes.
"Don't you get what he's telling us? Or don't you get what Mike was telling us? It wakes up every 30 years and feeds. It has to take some physical form, but it's here, down here somewhere."
Okay. So there's a physical form. Okay.
So this is really smart, but what does Bill, he's like, "It's down here somewhere. We need to find it." What does Bill do, and what do you do?
I feel so stupid.
This one is more challenging.
I feel so dumb.
Don't feel dumb, girl.
I know, but you just got 15 out of 17 the last episode, and I feel so dumb.
You shouldn't feel dumb. You should feel dead.
You are a real cunt monster. Okay. I do. I feel dead inside. Okay. So it feeds every 30 years. So Bill is like, "We have to find it. It's down here somewhere." And so my question is what? Please say the exact wording of your question to me again.
What does Bill decide to do to figure out how to find it? And what do you do to find where it is?
I feel like he wants to call it somehow and follow the light, that light that was blowing through the tunnels before. I feel like he wants to somehow call it, and he wants to follow the light to figure out where the light actually ends up, because that appears to be the energy that we're dealing with. And I'm going to do the same.
How? That is the question, is how.
I was hoping you would just accept that.
No, that was part of the question, is how are we doing that?
Calling the light to us. I'm going to use the little boat. I'm going to follow the little boat. Georgie's little boat.
You're going to follow the boat?
The little boat. I'm going to put the boat in the water, and I'm going to follow the boat. And I think the boat is going to lead me to Pennywise, so I can kill him.
And what does Bill do?
He's going to follow the little boat. So he's going to... Yay!
He's going to follow the little boat. He puts the boat down in the water, and then he follows it.
The little boat.
No, he does. He does
Okay,
exactly
great.
right. He puts their boat down in the water, and then
Cheers
they follow
to
the
me.
water, or they follow the boat.
Yay!
So it takes them to this little tiny wood doorway that has skulls and bones all like in the walls around it, and candles lit, which was random.
Oh my god!
That seemed
On
like
the
a
nose.
bit much.
Yeah. Though I'm kind of into that aesthetic. It's a little on the nose.
And before they go in, Eddie's like, this goes back to one of your hashtags. "Guys, I need to tell you something. I've been lying. When I said that I was seeing someone, I'm not seeing someone.
Hashtag get laid. Oh.
Actually, I've never, ever been with anyone.
Oh, somebody bone him. Somebody bone him right now.
And then Bev takes off her clothes. And
God, I
Rich
got
is
so
like,
excited.
what are you telling us? What are you, a virgin? And Bev hugs him. And Eddie's just like, I could just never sleep with anyone who didn't love me. And I never loved anyone except you guys. Actually, he said, I never could sleep with anyone I didn't love. And I've never loved anyone except you guys.
Oh,
and so then they all go
and have a big orgy.
Comfort him. And then they just
all fuck
boners
each other.
hit each other
Yeah.
in the eyes. And they're like, boners. No, it's very cute.
And it's the boners that kill Pennywise. Kim just weirdly reached towards me, and I couldn't figure out what she wanted. It was my beer. But she didn't say, like, can I have a sip of your beer? She just reached towards me with her weird Nosferatu hands. Thirst quenching.
And to just reach out like a little kid. I was like, give me some beer. So, hashtag get Eddie laid.
Hashtag get Eddie laid.
So they all go through the little wooden door.
Sewer orgy.
Whoop, whoop. Hashtag sewer orgy.
Oh, wouldn't that be cute? Sweet little sewer orgy between all the friends.
Stop making everything sexual, Ketrin.
I'm sorry.
We don't all want to have sex with you. Sometimes we just want to be friends.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Sometimes friendship love is more powerful than sexual love.
I hear you.
Ugh. So inside the door
Okay.
is a big cave. And they're sort of
I thought you said cake. Cave. Okay.
big cake. And then a stripper jumps out.
Yep.
And then we have a big cave orgy.
Okay. Cave.
So there's spider webs everywhere.
Goodbye.
But really thick, just everywhere.
No, thank you.
And then we look up and there's human bodies wrapped up, caught inside of the spider webs.
Oh, I'm sorry. What?
Everywhere. And Bill sees, not too far away, his wife. And
No.
immediately starts climbing. And then we hear a noise. And we look to the side and a big, giant, human, if not bigger size, spider starts walking towards them.
Nope. Goodbye.
Very monster spider giant.
Yeah.
It was 90s CGI, I'm not going to lie.
But here's the thing. I'm out. I'm gone.
Still human-sized spider.
Yeah.
Bill stares at it and he's like, damn you to hell.
Good one. Good one.
Question number 6. What do they do and what do you do?
God, I'm just going to go with you're not real. Like telling the spider that it's not real and holding hands about it. That's what they do. I'm going to get weird about it, and I'm going to go the Harry Potter route with the bug arts that they lose their power if you laugh at them, and I'm going to go back to laughing. I'm going to laugh hysterically at this adorable, silly little spider. That's me. Because it's not fucking real. Unless it is real. Unless this is the thing that's real. Shit.
I know. I think I'm going to give you no points. I'm so sorry.
'Cause that's the thing that's real.
This is the thing. Well, it's complicated.
Okay.
But they're like, Bev, the earrings.
The earrings, the
Shoot.
silver earrings.
So she shoots one and misses. And now we see it's growling, creepy teeth. And Bill, so they're all kind of up on a shelfy cave area, but Bill is down right in front of it. Mm-hmm. And he's just staring directly into it. And he's he thrust his fist into the ghost.
Oh, his little rhyme.
And Bev shoots again, hits it right between the eyes, but it just bounces off. It's little fucking
Ricochet.
head. Then the spider starts to stand up on its back legs, and we see the underneath part. And that's the light. It's just a big light underneath, and it's glowing.
Sweet. I want to throw some silver balls into the light.
And now what we've thrown 2.
Oh,
and we have 2. And so as the light starts to show, Bill's like staring into it, and it's like he can't move now. It's like he's stuck there. And so Ben is like, it's taking him. Like he's just like, what's that called? It's like he's like hypnotized almost by it, or he's just like, and Ben's like, it's taking him. So question number 7, what does Ben do and what do you do?
I am useless against clowns. I feel so brain fogged and so blanketed. All right, so the light is taking who?
Top Bill.
Top Bill. Physically pulling him into it.
No, it's just like he's just stuck staring in front of it. But like they get that that's kind of maybe.
They all go around and hug him. And I'm going to do the same. Like I'm going to try and engage him back where it's like, we're here, the lucky 7. And use my powerful Care Bear energy to bring him back. Hand in hand. I'm the 8th person. Lucky 8.
That's a half a point.
Great. This is going to be my worst score. This is fucking terrible.
Because Ben does jump down to save him, but the second he gets down there, he gets stuck in the light. So now he's stuck staring too. Question number 8. I told you it gets hot and heavy in the end. You were chillaxing for 2 hours.
Now I'm just like, I don't fucking know what to do. All right. What's the question?
What do they do next? What do you do next?
Oh my God. All right. So they're both fucking staring.
So basically, what does Richie do next and what do you do
Who's
next?
still up there?
Richie, Eddie, and Bev.
And 2 people are hypnotized down there.
Yeah.
And they're down? They're like down somewhere?
Yeah. It's like we never really see it all in one shot. It appears to be like they're at different spots-ish, but very close. Like 3 steps away from each other. Like you're here, you're here.
And I have no silver to throw. Correct?
Mm-mm.
And the second guy just jumped down to try to be like, here you are.
Yeah.
But okay.
Well, I'll give you. You can say what either Bev or Richie does. Either one.
Okay. Can they reach them? Like physically reach them?
No, they have to kind of jump down.
I think it's got me. I'm dead. Like I just don't get this dude. I don't get what's physical. I don't get what's not. I don't get what he's trying to get from me. What's this boat? Is this boat my secret weapon? Should I get into it? Do I just like pretend I don't care?
They're all like freaking out now a little bit too. Like this is the highest moment of everything. So they're, some are good decisions, some are bad decisions. I don't know.
Okay. Does somebody have a switchblade?
No.
Okay. Does somebody
That's
have...
Colonel Greaser. He's dead.
Right. He had the switchblade.
It's in his gut.
What do I have? Do I have anything? I don't think I have anything.
Mm-mm.
Okay. I'm just going to like physically attack it. I'm just going to use my body and physically attack it and extinguish its light somehow. I don't fucking know. I don't know what this fucking thing is. I'm so angry. I just feel like I let all the Sammys down. I should just quit this podcast. I'm out of here. I'm just going to fucking jump on this goddamn spider and just stab and punch forever. That's what I'm doing. I'm just going to lose my mind on this fucking spider clown. I can't take it anymore. I want to get out of here. I don't know what to do. I'm just going to go full fucking scorched earth on this motherfucker and be like, you know what? You think you're scary, Mr. It? You've never seen Ketrin when she's frustrated and pissed and had a couple beers. Goodbye! That's me. What do they do? I don't know. I think they all just fucking attack it physically and try to rip its legs off. They rip its legs off and beat it with its own legs. The end. Goodbye.
I'm going to give you half a point.
It's a pity point, isn't it?
A little bit.
It's fine. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Okay.
All right.
So
tell me
Richie
what to
jumps
do.
down.
Yeah.
And then he gets stuck in the light.
God damn it, you guys. I feel like this is why I'm like, what are you all doing?
That's why I'm saying it's like, I'm not saying they're making good decisions. I'm just asking you what they do.
He jumps down and gets stuck in the light like a fucking idiot. Why are you not? Okay. All right. So maybe the problem is that I'm smarter than these assholes and I just don't understand.
Wow. So now Ben, Bill, and Richie are all stuck in the light.
Okay.
But Bev runs to the back side of it. And now Eddie is alone.
Oh, okay.
In that shelf area.
Okay.
And he straight up is like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Question number 9. What does he do?
What does Eddie do? What does Eddie do? God. You know what? He fucking jumps down and gets stuck in the light too. And now all we've got left is Bev. Fucking hashtag save Bev. What do I do? Me and Bev are leaving these idiots in the cave and we're running out of here. Goodbye. We're going to try and get everyone out of the cave and seal up the door with some dynamite that I have in my back pocket.
Wait, what are you doing?
I'm going to run out the door. The skull door.
You're just running away.
Yeah, I'm going to fucking run out of here. Everybody just keeps jumping down and getting stuck in the spider's stomach light. I'm leaving. I'm out of here.
I mean, I guess that would keep you alive,
Yeah,
probably.
I'm leaving.
So, well, you never know. He'll probably follow you outside too, but I'll give you a point.
But I can at least get out of this whole mess.
Yeah, I mean, all your friends are dead for sure.
I
then.
just need to get out of this mess.
So Eddie has a little flashback to him as a kid.
Okay.
Saying, "This is battery acid, you slime." So he pulls out his inhaler
And sprays it at
and
the
so
thing.
he shields his eyes and
Okay.
starts to walk down towards there. And he's towards the spider. He's like, "I believe in Santa Claus. I believe in the Tooth Fairy, but I don't believe in you. This is battery acid, you slime," and sprays it. And the spider picks him up and starts squeezing him.
No.
Squeezing him.
Boa constrictor spider.
So Bev, question number 10. What's her plan and what's your plan?
Okay, my plan is I'm leaving. I'm getting out of here. I'm fucking sick of this shit. And I don't want to be fighting it in its home lair. I'm sick of this. I want to go. I want to arm myself with some other fucking shit, some fucking dynamite or whatever. So I'm leaving again. I'm out. What does she do? She's squeezing it. Where is his little inhaler? Where's his little thing?
In his hand.
It's in his hand. And he's being squeezed. Mm-hmm. And she's above it.
Well, she kind of scooted around to the side behind it.
Behind it. Element of surprise. Maybe Bev is the one who fucking comes up from behind it and attacks it and stabs it with a rock that she found in the cave. I'm going to need so many drinks.
I'll give you another point for you.
Just don't fucking pity me. I can't.
I don't know, but I'm I guess leaving would probably keep you alive.
Yeah. I just feel unprepared. It's one of those things where it's when you're in battle and you see that you're losing, it's retreat, motherfucker. Retreat and regroup.
I mean, back to question number 1, you'd probably eventually die of guilt, but...
I'm not saying I'm giving up. I'm saying I'm getting out of here. I'm retreating and regrouping.
But you retreating by yourself and knowing that everyone else then died, you'd probably die of guilt, but I'll still give you a point. So she went back to the side to kind of find that earring that had bounced off of it. So she grabs it. She goes back to the front where the light is and slow-mo, she shoots right into the light, hits it. It drops Eddie and all the boys are out of their trance now. And the spider kind of walks away growling hurt back into another little hole cave. And now Eddie is on the ground and he's hurt and like kind of like talking to them. And Richie's like, come on, Eddie Spaghetti. And he's like, don't call me that. And dies.
Dies?
Eddie dies.
Eddie dies?
Eddie dies.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm not
What
kidding.
the fuck is this movie?
I know.
None of my survival skills come into play at all in this movie, and then fucking Eddie dies.
I know.
Burns, what are you doing?
I told you it's very upsetting.
God damn it!
I told you it's very upsetting.
I hate this.
This is why. Oh God.
Hashtag fuck it. God. Wait, Eddie's the one who hasn't gotten laid yet.
Yeah.
Eddie died without fucking anybody?
I know.
Why are you... Let's just get this over with.
Eddie dies.
God.
They hear a little bit of like a low growl kind of scream from like the other kind of cave that the spider went into, and so they all look that way. They also have lots of feelings about Eddie.
Sure.
And they all stand up glaring at the hole. So, question 11, what do they do and what do you do?
Oh my God.
Basically, their choice is to like follow it deeper or go out the skull door. The cute little
I'm
skull
going
door.
out the skull door with everybody. I'm going out the skull door. I'm leaving. Eddie's dead. I'm so sorry, Eddie. R.I.P. Goodbye. We're leaving. I want to stay alive. I need a point. This is embarrassing. I'm going to crawl into my own cave of shame. What did these idiots do? They fucking follow the motherfucker into the Uber cave to do God knows what, because I don't understand the mythology. The end. If you don't give me 2 fucking points, I'm gonna fucking lose my goddamn mind.
I'm going to give you 1.5
You
points.
bitch!
Just because at this point, they kind of are like, should we leave? But Richie's like, if this thing comes back when I'm 70,
I can't fucking fight this shit.
Bill's like, let's finish it once and for all.
Oh my God.
So even if you leave, we don't
God.
know.
You don't know what I'm gonna be like at 70?
So they climb into the hole. It's like another cave.
I might be a Laurie Strode 70.
They see, I'm not saying you couldn't live at 70, but you might go through all of this again at 70, or you can finish it now. Okay. They go into
I'm
the new
chugging
cave.
this beer out of frustration.
Very upset.
I am so upset. I am chugging this beer.
Episode 50. 50. We're 50
I'm
years old.
so angry. I've never done this show and been as angry as I am right now.
It has Ketrin very upset. Pennywise makes her very upset. I'm very excited to see your reaction to clowns from this point forward, or anything having
It's
to do
just
with
gonna be
it. You're going to be
rage.
so mad.
It won't be fear. It'll just be
Catherine's
rage.
just punching clowns left and right in her life.
Yes. All right. What is happening?
Okay. They go into the smaller cave. They see the spider.
Great.
Question 12. What do they do and what do you do?
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. All
Please
right.
tell me.
We are going full blown scorched earth. I'm talking the type of rage that one feels where like they feel no pain. I'm talking like the natural PCP type feeling where I am going to be so fucking angry. I'm literally going to rip this spider limb from limb and make it eat its own legs. I am so angry. And then I'm going to take every rock I can possibly find, and I'm just gonna pile it on top to slowly just suffocate it and crush it and laugh while I do it. And it's gonna be so fucking satisfying. And the more it squirms and cries out, the more I'm just gonna laugh and pile more rocks on top. And it's gonna say, please do this faster, faster, please just kill me. And I'm gonna say, the more you beg, the slower I'm gonna go, motherfucker. Goodbye.
That's you?
That's me.
Okay.
What are they gonna do? Oh my God. Some fucking Care Bear stare into this. Let's kill it with our love. Whatever the fuck. It's not working, assholes.
Gibson's very upset, you guys.
Oh my God.
Very upset.
I'm also gonna like take a big dump on it. Like after it's like right as it's about to take its last breath, I'm gonna shit in its mouth.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've got what you've doing. I've
You got what
that
I'm doing?
notated.
Okay, great.
I added it to the notations. Thank
All
you.
right, what do they do? Who's even alive? It's fucking Bev, who I know. She's a queen.
Queen Bev,
Eddie's
obviously.
dead. And we got Bill and Ben.
Bill, Ben, Richie.
Bill, Ben, Richie. These fucking assholes. And they fucking followed it into like the Uber cave. Okay. Yeah. And it's still a spider.
Mm-hmm.
And she's already used her slingshot.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of made it run away. Right?
Yeah. She definitely shot it once. So it's hurt.
Where did that other little silver fuck go? They both bounced off, right? But
yeah,
she only
one
found one.
missed one. Yeah.
Do we know for sure she only picked up one?
Yeah.
But it's hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if they're going to psychologically. Okay, you know what? I'm going to try and get. I know that it's 2 half points. I'm going to say that they are going to physically kill it, but I'm also going to say that they're going to do it with laughter and love so that they can really sort of come at it from both ends. And just one of those is going to be the right answer, and it's going to get me a half point.
You get 1.5 points.
Yay!
That was smart. That was a smart cheating mechanism.
Thank you.
It's funny because you gave this answer like 3 questions ago.
But this is what they do now.
But this is what they do now.
So what you're saying to me is I could have ended this 3 fucking questions ago and these assholes didn't try until now.
You couldn't have done it then because some of them were stuck in the light then.
Oh, okay. So we needed all of them. Okay.
So we did.
Fine.
Yeah. And I think the anger that came from Eddie dying affected this.
Okay.
But they literally all just go and start attacking it. They like knock it over and just start like beating the shit out of it and like pulling its legs off.
Great. Do any of them shit in its mouth?
You know what? It may be just because of the made for TV part, but I didn't see that.
Okay. That's why I got
They
that
probably cut
full
that scene,
point for me, right?
They probably cut that
Great.
scene. Yeah.
Cool. I hate this.
And so they're like literally like pulling its legs off and shit. And then like we kind of see it's more just like the shadow of them on the cave. It's almost as if they reach inside and rip something out, as if it's almost like a baby question mark.
I did not. You know what? I'll give this
and
to
they
them.
like hold it up like so it's like we see just the shadow of that happening, so we don't really know.
I didn't get ripping babies out. I didn't get that.
They definitely like they pulled the light out of it or a baby question mark.
Sure.
Because maybe that's what happens is like it grows every 30 years or something.
Oh, listen to you.
You know,
all right.
That's just my thoughts. But it's dead.
Okay.
And Bill's like, my wife. And he runs back out to the first cave and all the bodies are slowly coming down from the spider webs. And he grabs her and like kind of pulls her down. She's completely wrapped in spider webs, and then he's holding her on the ground and she's completely clean from spider webs magically.
Sure.
You know, whatever.
Yeah.
The 90s.
Well, they're magical spider webs.
Now they're outside at in the Barrens. Richie is carrying Eddie's body. Bill is like holding his wife and just like kissing her, but she doesn't seem like he's just holding her a little bit.
Okay.
It's unclear what's happening there. She was just like stare face, the way that they were stuck in the light. That's what she was just like stare face.
Right.
And Bev and Ben are hugging. Flashback to all the kids hugging in that same spot. And then it's a voiceover from Mike in his journal. I guess that's how I like to remember us. Standing there by the lake, the sun going down on our childhood. This will be my last entry. I got it in just in time, just before the fog in my brain swept all of my memories away entirely.
The fog in your brain. Kim. You've been feeling foggy.
I have been feeling brain fog.
Oh, shit.
Is it?
Well, it's fine. I'll shit in a clown's mouth.
Thank you. I was going to the doctor to get my vitals and blood checked, but you know what? I'm just gonna have Ketrin shit in a clown's mouth, and that'll clean everything. That'll clear everything up. So now we're seeing Mike in the hospital room writing this. Now I look back on that time, not from memory, but from the pages of this book. The nightmare is over. What little police involvement there was brief and cursory, as it usually is the case here in Derry. Now that there's no further need for a lighthouse keeper, I feel I may move on. As of this writing, Richie is still knocking him dead, and we kind of like start to see what he's doing. Mm-hmm. He's got a part in a movie, co-stars with another comic who looks and acts a lot like Eddie, and we kind of see them filming it, making jokes and stuff. Ben and Bev left Derry together. They're headed west, and we see them driving in a convertible, kissing. After a week, they were married. A few weeks later, they were pregnant. Another curse broken.
Oh, cute!
Bill and Audra are still here. And we see wife. She's alive, but staring blankly.
Uh-oh.
Wish the news was better. Audra's condition is unchanged, but they're leaving today. He thought time here away from work might help, but I guess Audra's gone for good.
Oh, no.
One of its many casualties.
Fuck.
Locked in that haunted place where she saw its deadlights.
Oh, man. What a bummer.
And we're kind of watching Bill walking up, like kind of starting to pack a cab up, like they're getting ready to go. Bill visits every day. We laugh about our fading memories. Sometimes have to ask each other names now. His sadness is profound. I wish there was something I could do or could have done. And we see Bill getting into the cab, but he stops and he sees his old bike. And we hear young Bill be like, "I owe silver away." And adult Bill's like, "Wait." And he gets on the bike and he's holding Audra like she's kind of side saddle, and her arm, he puts her arm like around his neck because she's like, you know, staring face, but like can walk sort of.
Yeah.
And so he's like, "This bike saved Stan's life one day. Mine too. We were going so fast, we beat the devil. I don't know if I can go that fast today, but I'm going to try. So hold on." And he starts biking and he's like, "Beat it. Beat it. Beat it, Audra. Come on. Come on. Beat it, Audra." And they're like dodging traffic and riding around. All of a sudden, her hand grabs his shoulder.
Oh.
And she gasps, "Bill? Bill, where are we? She's alive. She's back." And he stops in the middle of traffic and he kisses her. And then it's just a slow zoom out of happy music. And we fade to black.
Nope. Nope. We faded to black before I heard the laugh. I'm out. We're done.
The end. That's it. That is it. That was it.
I'm Audred.
How do you feel? Ketrin's very upset.
Count my points and then I'll process my feelings.
Okay.
Hey, Sammys, I want to tell you about one of our live show sponsors, Steady Brewing in Long Beach. They just celebrated their 1-year anniversary and are already a featured craft brewery partner for the California Craft Brewers Association this year in Long Beach on September 12th through the 14th. So go check it out. Steady Brewing brews badass beers in-house. Kim and Eric and I got to sample, and it's delish, you guys. Seriously. Go visit them in Long Beach and go see them at the California Craft Brewers Association on September 12th to the 14th. And tell them Kim and Kat say, stay alive.
So I have good news and bad news and good news. Kendron's very upset. So for your dead or alives, you got 6 out of 11.
Of course I did. I kill those.
For your questions, you got 9.5 out of 22.
That's
For a total of 15.5 out of 33. But if you do the math, which I did do the math, that equals a 46.9%. Which, if we go by our made up rule of being better than 11%, you are alive.
I hear you. If you ask me at what percent I feel currently alive, it would be about 2. So
yes, that would be dead.
I feel open housed.
Yeah. For anyone who didn't listen, I did a movie many episodes ago called The Open House. And turns out it had 11% on Rotten Tomatoes. And somehow over time, that became the rule of just beating the open house on Rotten Tomatoes.
If you're 12%, you're still alive.
You're still alive.
You still have a little bit of...
You're a movie on Netflix. You are a movie on Netflix,
I am a movie on Netflix.
You did it.
I've never felt this defeated after a movie before in my life. I
feel like you were struggling with trying to get really deep within the mythology, and it was really kind of like if you believe in it, basically he's going after their fears,
right?
So that's why he's showing up, and he showed up in different ways for each one of them. So it's just picking on your fears, and if you believe in it, then it can get you.
And
plus them being friends made it strong. You know, it was. Yeah.
I struggled with when are you corporeal and when are you smoke. I'm so disturbed. I feel like this may have ruined a generation of children at this point. Because not only are they terrified of clowns, but I feel like it's left them feeling defeated. And that can't have positive effects on their future.
I mean, I didn't feel defeated.
I just feel so tired.
I was like, ooh, horror movies. Let me watch these more. Maybe I'll start a podcast about them.
Guys.
In some years.
This was our 50th. I'm mostly upset that Eddie died without getting laid.
I know, it's very sad.
That's so upsetting to me.
It's very sad.
It's so upsetting to me.
But I will say this was very, very 90s. I'm sure it was in the time, and me being my age, it was like terrifying.
Yeah.
Me watching it now, not at all.
Do you feel like it conquered some, do you feel like
I was considering that? I was like, do I not I actually don't feel as, I'm more back to scared of demon-y things.
Because now I feel like I kind of want to watch Exorcist and The Shining again then too, because I have such strong.
It's just like memories of you that you have as like a kid that feel different when you actually rewatch it. You're like, oh
my god, did you just fucking Care Bear stare your fear of clowns?
Yeah, I did. Care Bear stare, Pennywise. That's why I'm excited to rewatch because someone told me that so-and-so of the name that I can't remember wrote a script for it or something that was actually like super scary and really dark, which I guess is more like the actual book. And this was like a little more.
Well, it's made for TV.
You know,
it's made for TV and it's also 90s TV. Like I feel like you 100%. Can get away with a little bit more today.
So that's why I'm excited to rewatch part 1 of it and see it part 2.
But I can go do that now, right?
Yeah. We can do it together.
Oh my God,
That's going to be fun.
That'd be so fun to watch part 1 and then go see part 2.
Yay,
Oh my
let's
God.
do it. So that's it.
I'm going to go drink.
Let's go.
Yeah. This has
Happy
been-
50 episodes. Thank you guys for listening to us for 50 episodes. We fucking love you.
50.
We're 50 years old. We love you.
We love you so much.
Please, we're doing a live show August 4th. We'll be at Midsummer Scream. And this is going to be the Sunday at like 7 p.m. after Midsummer Scream in Long Beach. So if you're there, please come see our show. It's free. There's free beer giveaways. And if you're going to be at Midsummer, let's meet up. Let's say hi.
Yeah.
Hit us up. We're online at kksampodcast.
And I'm sure we'll be tweeting and Insta-ing from the
Yeah.
convention itself. So, find us.
Let's be friends.
That's
it.
Hashtag Safe Bev.
So this has been Kim and Kat Stay Alive.
Maybe.
So until next week.
Stay alive. Stop it. Ghosted me. I'm done.